Hello, my brothers and sisters. Brother Billy. Just wanted to do a video addressing something I saw going on in the UK that was proposed by that's going to be proposed by the Prime Minister. And that is, as you can see, my title: Digital ID mandated for all workers in the UK. One step closer to the mark of the beast. So I just want to get into this and let you hear this video about what's going on in the UK because we're definitely living in the end times. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We're living in end times. Let's get into this video and listen at what's going on in the UK.
Well, folks, it looks like the conspiracy theorists were right yet again, because just a couple of days ago, Keir Starmer announced that we're all going to be getting a digital ID. Compulsory, not optional, mandatory. You must have one. And maybe you're thinking, well, this doesn't sound too bad because I'm kind of used to having things on my phone by now. You know, my debit cards, my credit cards, my boarding pass to get on a flight. And after all, Keir has promised that this will only be used to tackle illegal working.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Well, strap in.
So that's the Prime Minister. I'll play some more of this video, but did you hear what this guy said? You will not be able to work in the UK unless you have the digital ID card. Now, that is definitely pushing one step closer to the mark of the beast. And let's go ahead and bring this up. And let's look at, this is Revelations chapter 13. You know, you got the beast coming out of the sea. You got the beast of the earth. You got the mark of the beast. Revelations chapter 13, around verse number 16. And it says this: He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man, listen at this part, based on what this guy, what the Prime Minister just said about the people in the UK. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, that lines up absolutely, completely with what the Prime Minister just proposed. If you don't have the digital ID, you will not be able to work. Well, if you can't work, you can't get a job nowhere without this digital ID. You cannot buy, you cannot sell. You won't be able to do it. So that's why this digital ID is being, everything Satan is pushing now is always being pushed as to make things more convenient. It's going to just help us, because we just love convenience. And a lot of people are going to get the mark of the beast because of the convenience. But the Lord has warned us in Revelation, don't take the mark. The Bible specifically warns us that if you take the mark of the beast, there is no repenting, there is no changing your mind, there is no coming back from taking the mark of the beast. Don't let nobody fool you. The Bible is explicit. You will be cast into hell with the devil, with the Antichrist, with the false prophet, if you take the mark of the beast, and you will be tormented. That's the Bible. So don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody deceive you. God's word is clear. And so this is Revelation 13, very familiar passages of scriptures that we've heard about for a long time. And guess what? It's almost here. This prophecy, they've been working on this a long time. This prophecy is about, you can hear them. You hear the man talking about this plane? You cannot work if you don't have this digital ID. And this digital ID card is just one step. It would be one step closer to the mark of the beast. It's not the mark of the beast, but it's just one step closer. It's preparation. So we can say, oh, now you need this chip. You know, you got the card. Nah, this card, you can lose the card, and you know, just people can steal your card, and so we just have a problem with people stealing and losing their cards. So I tell you what we gonna do? We'll just put a little chip in your right hand or in your forehead, and then now nobody can steal that. You can't lose it, you can't lose it, and nobody can steal it. How convenient. And many people are gonna be like, yeah, that's right. I just wave my hand over. I ain't got to worry about having no card to, you know, show nobody no card, to use no card, to swipe no card. My hand is just digital. Bam. Just so convenient. Don't receive the mark. Don't receive it. Let's get back to the video.
Because this is the death of liberty. This has nothing to do with proving whether you can legally work. We already have systems in place for that. This is about the state knowing everything about you, all of your bank details, how often you've visited the hospital, your social media accounts. All of them will eventually be attached to your digital ID. The state will know everything about you, and they will be able to totally control you.
This guy is on it. He is absolutely telling you exactly this. The mark is always been about, because it's Satan want to be like God. You got to understand why this mark is, why they are pushing this, and why this is absolutely going to come to pass. Is because that's Satan's way of being like God, with something he has coveted for eons. He want to be like God. He said, I will be like the Most High God. He want to be like God. He want to be in control. He want to be able to control us. And the mark of the beast, this digital ID, this digital system, is one way that he can absolutely control every human being on the planet. Once the system is in place. And just like this guy just said about the about the immigrants, that's one of the reasons why they want mass immigration, even in America. That's one of the reasons they want mass immigration, because they want to destroy sovereignty. Y'all don't understand, and some of y'all so, you hate Trump so much you can't see you working with Satan. They want to destroy the sovereignty of every nation. Why? One world government. No, not America is on sovereign nation. The UK is on sovereign nation. No, we don't want these nations being sovereign. We want one sovereign government. That's the New World Order. And the headship of that, the leader of that, will be none other than the Antichrist, who is controlled by none other than Satan himself. That's what's going on.
This is a digital prison. Oh,
yep.
Lando, that all sounds a little bit crazy. I don't think the British people would stand for that. I agree. Right now, they wouldn't, but this will take place over 10, 15, 20 years. More and more things will start getting added to your digital ID. Eventually, it'll be your bank accounts, then it'll be your social media accounts, and every single time, there'll be an excuse from the government about why this needs to be added.
Right.
Oh, we need to tackle fraud. Oh, we need to tackle social media misinformation and hate speech. Everything will get attached to your digital ID, and the state will know everything about you over a long period of time. I'm not saying this happens straight away, but this is the first step. We simply cannot stand for it. I know as well there's going to be people out there saying, oh, I trust the government, which honestly is kind of an insane position with everything we've seen over the past 15, 20 years. But okay,
Definitely.
You trust the government. You trust Keir Starmer. Do you trust the next government? Well, it's going to be Nigel Farage. Do you trust the government in 15 years or in 20 years' time to have total knowledge and total control over you? Do you trust them? If you're saying yes, you're an idiot, because you don't even know what that government could look like. This is a communist and a fascist wet dream. The East German Stasi could never have dreamed of a tool this powerful. And you know what? We've actually already experienced a little bit of this, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys,
we most definitely did. When did we experience that? Remember COVID? Remember that, right? You remember COVID? Huh? We experienced some of that. Here you go. Remember this?
Those smug little green screens that barred the unjabbed from everyday life, serving as a blatant Orwellian tool of coercion and division. Well, if you didn't take the government at face value, let alone dared challenge them, you faced life-changing decisions. Travel abroad or be grounded at home. Keep your job or face financial ruin. See your family or stay isolated alone. Those were some of the choices the government often told you you had to make. Comply or shut up. That is the raw, unchecked power governments can wield when given the tools, and digital ID hands them the sharpest blade possible. It paves the way for far worse down the line, doesn't it? One authoritarian regime later, and you, your children, and their children could face being sent to camps based on ethnicity, political views, religion, or even health status, as we've already seen. But why stop there? Why not seamlessly link your social media profiles, algorithmically scoring your influence and loyalty to the government?
I want you to think about...
I mean, and see, for some people listening at this stuff, especially here in America, because those of us in America, we just really, we're so spoiled. We are so spoiled. We are spoiled rotten. Most Americans got this mindset, the idea that, oh man, that's what you talking about is happening in the UK. What you talking about is happening over there in Africa somewhere. You know, for example, in Africa, in Nigeria, right now, you don't hear about it unless you look at alternative media. But thousands upon thousands of Christians are being slaughtered in Nigeria by Muslims, who in America, most people believe Islam is a religion of peace. That just shows how delusional people in America are. They actually believe Islam is a religion of peace. Bush said it, Obama them say, all of them say that's a religion of peace. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Muhammad told the Jews, told the Muslim to fight the Jews and the Christian until they pay the jizya. If they refuse, kill them. That's what Muhammad told his followers. That's what Allah commanded. So in America, we are so comfortable that is absolutely scary. But what's going on in Nigeria with those Christians? We think, oh man, brother Billy, that won't happen here. I mean, that stuff will never happen here. So wait a minute. Christians in Nigeria, true born again followers of Jesus Christ, love God with all their heart, being slaughtered, being martyred for the sake of Christ. But God, ain't no way that's gonna happen in America. The Christians in America. You know how arrogant you sound? You know how crazy you sound to even say that. To imply that somehow God loved Christians in America way more than he loved Christians in Africa, because he's not going to let that happen in America. That's what you're implying. That's the thinking of a lot of Christians in America. They just think, oh, that'll never happen here, Brother Billy. We'll never have no digital ID. We'll never have no one world. We'll never have all that. Keep on sleeping. We're gonna get a whole lot more than what we think. Keep on sleeping. Let me play a little bit more of this in this
China
video.
for a second. China operates a social credit system. Now, the way that works is there are tons of algorithms out there assessing each individual person within China and how well they comply with or resist the state.
Mhm.
The more you comply with the state, the better your life will be. The more you resist the state, the worse your life will be, the more that they will punish you. And those systems rely on two things that are currently being introduced across the UK and across Europe: digital ID and facial recognition. We're seeing it everywhere, all across Europe and all across the UK. Both of those things are essential to bringing in a social credit system. And the end result is, well, the Chinese people cannot possibly resist their own government. Their government can do pretty much whatever they want to the Chinese people,
Yep.
and they will do nothing. Because at any given moment, the Chinese government can make life absolutely hell. Basically just turn off the taps for any Chinese citizen. Is that really the future that you want for Europe and the future that you want for the UK? Maybe you want to travel somewhere and you're trying to book a plane ticket, but according to your digital ID,
Can't
you've
do
already
it.
met your carbon quota for the
Yep.
year. So no, try again in a few months. Instead, you try and get a few beers from the shop because you're having a barbecue with some friends, but guess what? You've met your alcohol quota for the month, so
Mhm.
no, you can't do that either. I'll just sit at home and browse Twitter and go on my social media platforms, but you can't do that either because you're locked out of all of them. Why? You offended someone. Come back in 2 weeks, but if you take this correctional training to improve your wrong think, well,
Mhm.
we'll narrow that down to a week. I know that this is a very bleak and dystopian future. And am I saying that it would definitely happen? No. Am I saying it could happen? Well, it could happen only if such a thing as digital ID exists and it has these sprawling tentacles in every part of your life.
And according to the Bible, according to Revelations 13, we're absolutely embarking on the mark of the beast that the Bible prophesied about. So this is not to scare anyone. This is just so we could be prepared. I mean, God already told us before time. He said he was telling his disciples, I've told you these things before time so that when they happen, you know. I've already told you these things would happen. I told you before times.
I want to cultivate
That-
a new young generation of Americans who
I
actually
told you
have it.
before time that these things would happen. So when they do happen, you won't be surprised. You won't be taken off guard. So we should be, grateful and thankful to God that what's happening now with them pushing the digital ID, with the way they push COVID. COVID was a precursor. That was a test. That was a test run. If you had your eyes open, you would be able to see that was a test run. And so now they're amping it up in the UK with digital ID, and they'll be introducing it here too. They tried to get a digital currency with Nancy Pelosi and them tried to do that. They definitely did. Digital dollar. They tried to do it. So just wanted to let you guys know that we are definitely we in some biblical times here, and it pays us. It pays to be ready. You ain't ready, get ready. If you are ready, stay ready. Jesus is soon to crack the sky. And I want to be able to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. He is coming. He is coming. Even so come, Lord Jesus. Y'all be blessed. See you again the next time. Whatever you do, if you're still alive when they roll out the mark of the beast, this digital ID chip implant, don't do it. Whatever you do, that would be the worst decision you have ever made in your entire life, because there is no turning back. Be blessed.